This is Ross Feingold on Taiwan Hashtag, hosted by the Storm Media, coming to you from Taipei. Today we'll be talking about the latest controversy over Taiwan's name in the international community, whether international organizations, sporting events, financial-related, trade-related organizations. So what happened in recent days? A United Nations organization that promotes gender equality listed Taiwan on a list of countries that have gay marriage equality, which was legislated in May of this year here in Taiwan. However, on this list of countries, which included the flags, the national flags of the countries, Taiwan was referred to as Taiwan, province of China. Of course, this angered many people here in Taiwan, including the government, because Taiwan is not a province of the People's Republic of China, which is a UN member, unlike Taiwan, which left the UN in 1971 when the People's Republic of China took the China seat. In fact, this is the second time this year that the same organization at the UN has made this mistake. Earlier this year, this UN organization that promotes gender equality gave an award to a female baseball umpire, not a softball umpire, a baseball umpire, for her role in promoting gender equality and the role of women by becoming a very well-known baseball umpire in international sporting events as a woman. Again, this being very unusual to see female umpires in baseball as opposed to softball. So what happened back then? In a tweet on social media, this UN organization congratulated the baseball umpire for her award and referred to her as being from Taiwan, province of China. Taiwan government made its feelings known about this. Social media users did as well, and the offending messages were removed actually by that UN organization. In recent days, when the same UN organization wanted to promote a list of countries that have legislated or by court order have marriage equality, they included Taiwan. They even included the national flag of Taiwan, or the Republic of China, which is very unusual in a UN document or social media post to include the Republic of China flag. However, it referred to Taiwan, province of China. This made the government here very angry because, again, Taiwan is not a province of the People's Republic of China. In fact, the UN doesn't even include Taiwan as a member. So very upset. I mean, one thing the government pointed out here is, we've achieved marriage equality, but you're not giving us proper credit. Actually, we need to be very clear here. Marriage equality happened in Taiwan because of a court order. Marriage equality supporters, they went to the Constitutional Court. They demanded a ruling that said that there is a constitutional right to marriage equality. The court agreed with them, and then the court said, legislature, I'm giving you 2 years to pass a law to make this a reality. So it's not as if the government, the current government, actually led the way on this. In fact, they were kind of silent observers throughout this process, notwithstanding the fact when they were in opposition prior to 2016, they had actually championed marriage equality. So we see the government here on the international stage trying to take some of the credit for marriage equality when actually credit probably goes to the supporters of marriage equality who were bold enough to go to the court and get a ruling. Anyway, back to the controversy. So government here is protesting. They don't like being called Taiwan, province of China. Well, that brings us to the general dispute over what to call this country in various international organizations. So let's go through some of those various names. And we'll start with one of the ones that is the most lengthy, most complex, most wordy, and that's the name that Taiwan uses at the World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization, one of the few international organizations that Taiwan is a member of on an equal basis, just like the People's Republic of China. So what name do they use over there at the World Trade Organization? It is the Separate Customs Territory of Taiwan, Penghu, Jinmen, and Matsu. Why separate customs territory? Well, World Trade Organization, they deal with trade issues. This seemed like a logical compromise. We won't call them a country, we'll call them a separate customs territory. Taiwan, Penghu, Jinmen, and Matsu. Taiwan's the name of the main island. Penghu, Jinmen, and Matsu, offshore islands. So they put them all in the name. So now we get this very wordy TPKM, which very few people here in Taiwan even know is the name that Taiwan uses in the World Trade Organization. I can't imagine what the permanent representative, the ambassador of Taiwan to the WTO, says when he makes his speech. Does he say, I'm so happy to be here as the representative of the separate customs territory of Taiwan, Penghu, Jinmen, and Matsu? So, very unusual wordy name that Taiwan suffers under at the WTO. Next interesting name that Taiwan uses is at the Asia Development Bank. Again, another international organization that Taiwan is an equal member of just like the People's Republic of China. In fact, the Republic of China was a longtime member, and the People's Republic of China only joined the ADB in the mid-'80s. And the name that was given to Taiwan when they were downgraded from the Republic of China to another name to make the People's Republic of China happy was Taipei, China. Very interesting thing about this name is no space between the word comma and China. Again, part of the compromise with the People's Republic of China when they wanted to join the ADB, but the original members, they felt, look, Taiwan, the Republic of China, has been a long-time member. It wouldn't be fair to kick them out. So this was the compromise. Very different than the name that Hong Kong uses in the Asia Development Bank. Hong Kong is also a full member, just like China and Taiwan. They actually get the space after the comma. So they are Hong Kong, China, at the Asian Development Bank, but Taiwan is not Taiwan, it's Taipei, comma, no space, China. Another strange name imposed on Taiwan in an international organization. So what names does the government here really prefer? Well, of course, the preferred name would be the official name of the country, which is, as we all know, the ROC. The Republic of China is still the official name of this country. A lot of people in Taiwan don't like it. They'd rather call it the Taiwan Republic. Hasn't happened yet. Even the U.S. is discouraging a referendum to make that happen. So right now, the official name of the country, ROC, Republic of China. Sometimes we see various derivations of this, or variations. So sometimes we see ROC, parentheses, Taiwan. So that's to emphasize that the Republic of China exists, but it exists only here on Taiwan, which means sometimes we see ROC on Taiwan. Again, it's a way to emphasize that the bulk of this country's territory is now the island of Taiwan, and then there are the offshore islands. Unfortunately, they somehow get lost in these naming conventions other than at the WTO. So sometimes we see ROC on Taiwan. This year, we see another variation from the government of President Tsai Ing-wen, which is just ROC Taiwan. No parentheses, no on. It's almost like a soft launch of a new name of the country. Instead of saying that we changed the name to Taiwan, we'll just call it ROC Taiwan. No parentheses, no on. And this appeals to a lot of people in Taiwan as well as somewhat of a compromise. We'll just call it ROC Taiwan, no parentheses, no word on. And that brings us to another interesting name that Taiwan is often known for in international organizations. And again, this is part of a compromise. This is a name we see in sporting events such as the Olympics. Many Americans will know this name from Little League Baseball because for many years the team from Chinese Taipei was the participant in the Little League until they got thrown out for breaking some of the rules. So in Chinese, this is Zhonghua Taipei. Zhonghua means Chinese. For some people, it means culture. For some people, it means the country. But this name is Chinese Taipei, Zhonghua Taipei. And this is the name, again, that's used at the Olympics. It's used at APEC, so an international organization for business facilitation that Taiwan is also an equal member of. Sometimes it's a name used when Taiwan is invited as an observer to other international organizations. So very common to see this name as a reference to Taiwan in the international community. Of course, understandably, a lot of people here in Taiwan don't like this name. It doesn't include Taiwan, and it emphasizes the word Chinese, which could be confusing for people who are not so familiar with all the history and all the details. But it seems to be a compromise name. Again, the Olympics is one of the more notable places. As I said, APEC, Little League Baseball. When Taiwan was an observer at the World Health Assembly, it might have been invited under this name as well. So very, very common, but not necessarily a preferred name by the government, whether it was the former government of Ma Ying-jeou from the Kuomintang. He, of course, preferred Republic of China, the formal name. He could have compromised on Republic of China, parentheses, Taiwan. Current government, again, using more Republic of China, Taiwan, no parentheses, without the word on in the middle. Definitely the current government does not prefer this one, this Chinese Taipei, which brings us to an interesting proposal that was floating around on the internet last year. So last year there was a referendum that was held in Taiwan. It was to go to the Olympics and say, we don't want to be Chinese Taipei at the Olympics anymore. We just want to be Taiwan. Now, the International Olympic Committee made very clear, no, 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 no. You signed an agreement with the International Olympic Committee that you'll come to the Olympics as Chinese Taipei. We're not going to change that. If you have a referendum, the result will be either we won't let you come to the Olympics or we'll just still call you Chinese Taipei. We're not going to call you Taiwan. Ultimately, because of these threats from the IOC, the referendum did fail. So the Taiwan government or the Taiwan Olympic Committee did not go to the International Olympic Committee and say, we demand that our name be changed. So avoided a big international political dispute over that. But the proposal that was floating around the internet here in Taiwan last year was to change the name of the capital, Taipei City. So instead of calling it Taipei, why don't we change the name to Republic City? So then the name of the capital in Chinese would be Mingguoshi, and if we were going to use this naming convention, instead of Zhonghua Taipei, it would actually be Chinese Republic. However, that was not one of the referendums that was up for vote last year, but it would be really interesting if supporters of Zhonghua Minguo actually came forward with a referendum to change the name of Taipei City to Republic City so that in international organizations they would have to use Chinese Republic or more formally Republic of China as the name for this country, which, as our viewers know, is a country. It is not a province of China, as the UN claimed earlier this week. I'm Ross Feingold. You've been watching Taiwan Hashtag.